Good evening. My name is RANJINI DEVI RAMA, metric number 419-2000-661. So explanation for the question number 4. First, this is the question, and we use the method of Fourier series formula, and then fx equals to a naught plus n equals to 1 and an cos 2n pi x over l plus bn sine 2n pi x over pi, and t is l equals to 2 pi, a naught equals to 1 over l, which means here the upper value is pi and the down is a negative pi, and fx dx. An equals to 2l and the upper value is pi and lower value is negative pi, and cos bracket cos 2n pi x over l fx dx, and bn as same 2 pi l, upper value is pi and down is negative pi, and we take sine 2n pi x over l fx dx, which means an we use cos and bn we use sine, and the 2n pi x over l is still same value, and fx, we take the fx and put fx equals to a, sorry, yes, okay, a naught plus inverse n over n equals to 1, and an cos bracket nx plus bn sine bracket n over x. So we just sum up the an cos nx and bn sine nx, which is the value of an and bn. We combine when it comes to fx equals to the method, and a naught equals to 1 over 2 pi, which is upper value is pi and the down value is negative pi, fx dx, and equals to, okay, so equals to 1 over 2 pi bracket, we take negative pi over 2, the upper value pi over 2 and the down value is pi, because we take the value the front, integrate 1 over 2 pi, so after integrate we get negative pi over 2 minus 3 dx plus upper value pi over 2 and down value is, lower value is negative pi over 2, 3 dx, and integrate pi over 2, 3 dx. So we can see here, which is the first, this one will be negative both. We integrate the both upper value and the lower value will be in negative value. And second integrate, it will be in the upper value will be positive and down will be negative. And the third one, both the upper and lower value will be positive. And this 3x will be remain same because 3dx, I think it's like 3dx, we can't integrate more, maybe, I'm not sure. So equals to 1 over 2 pi bracket negative 3x bracket, the upper value, the first one, we take here down, so negative pi over 2, and the lower one negative pi plus 3x, and same this value here, pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, and minus, and 3x. We just neglect all the d value here, and just put bracket, and this thing we bring here. We just cut out all the integrate here and we just bring down here this upper and lower value. And this one, like 1 over pi is 1 over 2 pi. So we times up. Okay, so 3 pi over 2 minus 3 pi plus 3 pi over 2 plus 3 pi over 2 and minus 3 pi plus 3 pi over 2 bracket, which means we times 1 over 2 pi, we times with each value of this, and last and will be the next equals to 1 over 2 pi bracket. We'll get after we sum and substitute after we sum and minus all this, and 3 pi minus 3 pi over 2 minus 3 pi and plus 3 pi, so we'll get 4 plus 3 pi over 2 minus 6 pi 6 pi and equals to 1 over 2 pi bracket 6 pi minus 6 pi. So after we cut both these, so it will be 0. So we just have 1 over 2 pi times 0. So a n equals to 0. Sorry, a naught, not a n. A naught is equals to 0. I'm confused. Okay. And then the calculation of a n, yeah, after the a naught, a n equals to 1 over pi. Integrate upper value pi and lower value is negative pi, fx cos nx dx. We using previous a naught, same value for the an, we use cos, and bn we use sine. But here an, first we use 1 over pi, integrate upper value pi and negative pi, fx cos nx dx, and 1 over pi, we both put it at negative, integrate negative pi over 2 and negative pi, and negative 3 cos nx dx plus pi over 2 negative pi over 2 3 cos nx dx and plus pi and pi over 2 3 cos nx dx, same as we do in a naught. We just put this same value and we put change in the negative and positive in the integrate upper value and lower value. So an equals to 1 over pi, we times, so 3 we times up. Okay, so 3 over n sine nx we bring here, and then we bring this here. We just cut out all the integrate symbols, plus 3 over n sine nx, and this will be here. Just cut out all the integrate the symbols, and the value will be same. And equals to the next part. The next step is 1 over pi 3 over n sine n pi over 2 minus sine nx. We just times and sum up these things, and we write down here back again, and plus 3 over n sine pi n, pi square over 2, or pi times pi, plus sine n pi over 2. No, it's not pi, n pi over 2 plus sine n pi over 2 minus 3 over n, bracket sine n pi minus sine n pi over 2. We times this. Okay, so the next step will be 1 over pi bracket 3 over n sine n pi over 2 minus 3 over n sine n pi plus 2 times 3 over n, because we have to times. Okay, so 3 over n sine n pi plus 3n sine n pi over 2. Wait, how is it? and 1 over pi, 1 over pi, this 1 over pi times, after we sum up of this sum and minus all sum of the value, and after cut off the same value, so 4 times 3 over n sine n pi over 2 and minus 6 over n sine n pi bracket, and 1, sorry, 4 times 6 is no, so 4 times 3 is 12 over pi n sine n pi over 2 minus 6 over pi n times 0. Okay, so this 4 times with 3, so it will be 12 over n sine n pi over 2 and minus this value, just bring up here this pi times with this, so will be 6 over pi n times 0. So this is the value of an equals to 12 over pi n sine over n pi over 2, 6. We count down with this and this, so we will get 2. Okay, no, wait, 6. Yeah, so cut down the 6. So n pi. Okay, so next the value of fx. We find the value of bn and fx. So 1 over pi, integrate pi negative pi fx sine nx and dx. So just now the first step for the a naught, we just for the few step of the earlier we use an for the cos and bn for the sine, but an we use all the cos step, and now we using bn. So we integrate. So negative 3 over pi, integrate negative pi over 2 and negative pi, negative sine and x dx, same way, just play. We just have 3, we just play in these integrate values, which means negative negative and positive negative and positive positive. The rest, these values are all same, which means negative sine and x dx, sine and x dx, and negative sine and x dx. So this one equals to 3 over pi n bracket cos nx pi over 2 pi minus cos nx pi over 2 negative pi, okay, and cos nx, which means this step we deduct all the integrate symbols. And next step, negative, sorry, no negative, 3 over pi n bracket 2 cos nx over 2, no, sorry, 3 over pi n bracket 2 cos n pi over 2 minus 2 cos n pi over 2. And after we sum up and cut this and this, cos it's same, so we can cut off. So we'll get 3 over n pi equals to 0, cause we can't calculate this more, okay, we can cut. So, and then bn is also 0. So the last part is we find fx, which is 0, okay, and 0, and inverse over n equals to 1, bracket 0 sine nx plus 12, the an value, so 12 over pi n sine nx cos n pi bracket, so fx equals to inverse over n equals to 1, 12 over pi, n pi sine n pi over 2 cos nx. Another step, fx equals to 12 over pi. We bring this front, and 1 over n sine pi n pi over 2. So cos nx. So fx equals to 12 over pi inverse over n equals to 1, 1 over n sine bracket n pi over 2. And times with cos nx. So these are the value of fx. Thank you.